Today, we're uncovering a remarkable story about a woman named Henrietta Lacks, whose life and legacy shaped modern medicine, even though she never knew it herself. In 1951, Henrietta was a young African-American mother of 5 living in Baltimore, Maryland. When she began experiencing unusual symptoms, she went to Johns Hopkins Hospital, one of the few hospitals that treated black patients at the time. There, she was diagnosed with an aggressive form of cervical cancer. As part of her treatment, doctors took a sample of her tumor cells without her knowledge or consent, something that was standard practice in those days. But what happened next was remarkable. In the lab, researchers observed that Henrietta's cells behaved unlike any they'd seen before. Most cells typically die within days, but Henrietta's continued to grow and multiply rapidly. Scientists named these immortal cells HeLa cells, using the first 2 letters of her first and last names. For years, scientists had struggled to keep human cells alive in the lab, knowing that success would lead to groundbreaking discoveries. But all previous cells died within days, until Henrietta's. Her cells enabled scientists to study diseases, test treatments, and make discoveries in ways that weren't possible before. HeLa cells led to the development of the polio vaccine, new cancer treatments, research into genetic disorders, and even experiments on the effects of space travel on human cells. They became one of the most important tools in medicine. Yet Henrietta knew nothing of her cells' impact, and neither did her family. Over 20 years later, they discovered the wide-scale use of her cells, which were now in labs across the world and generating profits for biotech companies, profits that Henrietta's family never saw. In a painful twist, some of her family members struggled to afford health care themselves. The story of Henrietta Lacks brings up essential questions about ethics, patient rights, and informed consent. In the 1950s, there were no laws or protections around the use of patients' tissues. Henrietta, like so many in her position, was never informed about the potential impact of her cells. Today, her legacy inspires discussions on medical ethics and has led to stronger regulations to protect patients. In recent years, Henrietta's name has finally begun to receive the recognition it deserves. Her story has been brought to light through books, films, and academic work, highlighting the hidden impact of her life on the world. Her family continues to preserve her legacy, advocating for changes in research ethics and ensuring that her contribution is acknowledged. Henrietta Lacks wasn't just a cancer patient, she was a woman who transformed medicine, saving lives around the globe. Though she didn't live to see the full impact, her story and her legacy endure, reminding us of the human side of scientific progress.